guys, my name is Anna, welcome to my channel, and today is my third update for my Back to Broadway project pan. Now if you don't already know, this project pan I created myself, and it is where you choose however many items you want and you link them to a Broadway musical or just a musical in general, and it could be makeup or it could be skincare or hair care, whatever you want it to be. But yeah, I created this because this hasn't existed and I wanted it to. I currently have 10 items and this is a rolling project pan, so that means once I finish something, I roll something new in, I connect it to a new musical. My first item is for the musical Phantom of the Opera, and it is the Wet n Wild Dewy Primer. This is my line for last month and this one is for this month, so I made kind of similar progress to the past 2 months. I don't know. It depends on how many air bubbles I get out. In the past month, I've used it 23 times, so that's pretty much every day that I've worn makeup for the most part. I'm wearing it today just on like the perimeter of my face, and for the center of my face I use this Wet n Wild matte primer, and this is for the musical Bonnie and Clyde. Last time I was around here, the markings kind of faded. I think I have one use left. I used it today and it's getting really difficult. I was like smacking it on my hand, but then all of a sudden some of it burst out. So it's like I keep on thinking it's empty, but then there's some product left. I'm gonna count this as an empty because it's gonna be done in the next 2-3 days max. I figure I should count this as an empty and just roll in the next thing that I'll be using in its place because this won't last very long. I've also used that 23 times. My next item counts as a bronzer, but it's actually a Franken of 2 eyeshadows from the e.l.f. Matte for Matte palette in an old packaging, and it was for the musical Heathers because it's damaged packaging, and product because I've had to repress it once. I think it was last month, or everything's a blur. At one point it shattered when I traveled with it, so I had to repress it again. That might have been this past month. Oh shoot. But I've been trying to hit pan on it and it just doesn't wanna, like, I can see that ridge in the center where it's raised. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of firmly pressed. That might be my fault, but yeah, it doesn't like kick up a ton of product, or any product really. So who knows how long. This is a tiny little eyeshadow pan and I still can't hit pan on it for bronzer. To be fair, I only used it 10 times this month because at one point I forgot to bring it with me and all that jazz, and I think the shattering did happen this past month, if I can remember. Everything's a blur, so I can't remember when was when. But yeah, only 10 times. I think last time I used it 15 times, so like not as good, but all things considered, I still think that's pretty decent. My next product I also count as a bronzer, but it's actually not a bronzer. Yet again, weird. But it is from the musical Beetlejuice, and it is this Milani lipstick in the shade Teddy Bear, and it looks awful on my lips, so I like to use it as a bronzer. I'm actually using it today. It's like a really reddish bronzer, so it's nice for like this kind of look. When I don't really like orangey bronzers because I'm so fair, it just doesn't look that great. I have used it 12 times, and as you can see, my line is minimal, but still there is progress, so I'm pretty proud of that. I've managed to flatten it out so it's not really like a lipstick anymore, which makes me happy because it's a little weird to use when it's a lipstick shape if I'm using it on my cheeks. Last month my goal was to use this 10 times, and I've met that goal, and my goal for this next month is to use it 10 more times at least. This next product is for Legally Blonde the musical, and I always pair it with that bronzer because it is a cream blush. I've used this 11 times. One time I used the bronzer, I used a different cream blush, but most of the time I use them together. And this is how much is left. My progress is significantly less from last time because I changed the brush I use with it. It is a less dense brush, but I find I like the effect better. I'm wearing it today and I just find that it blends things out better, and it's doesn't make it as harsh. It's easier to blend. I don't know. I just like this when there's less product on my cheeks. So pros and cons, I use less, but I like the effect better. So now these are my lines for this month. As you can see, it's like half the progress as last time, and that is due to the changing brushes and application. However, I think I'm enjoying it more now. I'm in front of a window, so it's really reflective because I'm wearing, it's a glowy blush, and I'm wearing highlighter, so it's hard to see because I'm just like blinding you with my cheeks. Same as the bronzer, my goal was to use this 10 times, and since I used it one more than that, pretty happy. My goal is to, for next month, the same, just 10 times. I might have to hike it up a little bit more once it starts getting warmer, especially because my progress has been lessened by the brush I'm using, but we will see. Now I just want to use it 10 more times, just for now. Now my next product is done. However, some of it crumbled and I lost some of it, so that definitely helped to the progress, but the pan is no longer empty because I already pressed a new brow powder in. This, I finished the brow powder, I used it 19 times, and again, it did crumble, and so I lost little pieces. I couldn't really retrieve them once they fell on the floor, but yeah, I used it pretty much every time I used makeup until I ran out, and I forgot to take a picture once the pan was empty, and that makes me kind of sad, but you could see the empty pan in my repressing video, actually. That's kind of spoilery that I posted it before, but yeah, I repressed the next thing I'm rolling into there. Now this next product is for the musical Chicago, and it is the Essence Metal Shock eyeshadow in the shade Seconds to Mars. Last time my goal was to use this 5 times, and I used it 6 times, so yay! And you can't really see a ton of progress because of the type of product it is. However, you can kind of see windows, so it looks like I'm about halfway through. So yeah, exciting stuff. I never really used this before. I tend to forget I had it or just not reach for it, and yeah, I'm wearing it today, and I feel like the more I use it, the more I like it. Now my next product is for the musical Newsies, and it is in this Bare Minerals packaging. However, it's actually a Franken lip product that's like a gloss lip balmy thing. My goal is to use it 10 times. I used it 11. I tried making a mark last time, it rubbed off, but it was somewhere near the top, and as you can see, there's a lot of scrape marks, so I'm kind of maybe a third, halfway through. Yeah, I can't, it's hard to tell because of the packaging, and there is no stopper, so it's kind of messy to use. But I do have a solution for it that I will get to later. Now, this product is for the musical The Band's Visit, and it is the Burt's Bees Tinted Lip Balm in the shade Hibiscus. And my goal was to use this 5 times. I used it 6 times. The 6th is today. I have it on my lips, and I feel like it's a kind of a nice summery shade. I never really reached for this before. I mean, I did, but just not as much as other lip products because it is warmer. But I've learned to appreciate its kind of orangey peachy color, even though the cap doesn't look like it would be as warm toned as it is. I am pretty excited for the progress though, because 6 times and I'm already like a third or fourth through. So by that progress, it seems like I might be done in the next 2 to 3 months if I use it 5 times. My goal is to use it 5 times, and my goal for next month is to use it another 5 times because I feel like that's realistic for my usage. And this last product is for Hadestown, and it is really exciting because da-da-da-da, I finished it. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? This is the first full-size lip gloss I've ever finished, so like, although it's kind of small for a normal lip gloss, I have never finished a full-size lip gloss before, and they've always been like minis or like even tinfoil packets, but yeah, I'm just really proud of myself. I know it was like a clear lip gloss with like a gold sheen, so like it's kind of easy, but I'm so proud. And actually this is a solution for that Franken lip gloss. I kept the stopper, it's not in here currently, but I did keep it, and I'm going to wash this out and sanitize it and then transfer that lip product into here. So first off, it'll be easier to track progress, and also it'll have a stopper, so it'll be less messy, easier to use, easier to reach for. Just, yeah, solves a lot of problems, me finishing this up, and it's my oldest lip gloss by far. Too old probably, but I don't care because I'm proud of myself for finishing a lip gloss. Okay, I'll stop. Now moving on to my roll-ins, and as I said before, I didn't technically finish that Wet n Wild matte primer. However, it's so close that I feel like I should just roll the next one in. And when I say the next one, I mean, literally it's the same exact product, but this time it's for the musical Something Rotten because of the song The Black Death, and this is black packaging. That musical is hilarious, can I just say? It's, I've never watched it, but listening to it, I can tell it's hilarious. The song, A Musical, there are so many references to musicals through the words and through the actual music itself. I have a friend who has seen it, and she says there's a lot of visual references as well, and so it's just like one big making fun of musicals while also celebrating them. You have to be a musical fan to get all the references, but once you do, you're like, oh my gosh. Anyways, that's not the song I'm basing this off of though. The Black Death is, I think, the happiest form of art or literature or anything that's talking about the Black Death, but it's one of my favorite songs. This is the same matte product. Yes, I had two of the same primers and both were opened. Anyway, it's kind of here, so like basically where this line is where it's pretty much at. And yeah, once I finish that product, which should be done soon, unless it keeps on just like surprising me, yeah, gotta start using this. Now, this product has already been spoiled through multiple ways, but as I said, I finished the brow powder, and so this next one is a NYX Cake Brow Powder, and I think it was in the shade Taupe or Soft Brown. There was two powders. One was this really grayish one, and then there's one that was like really warm toned that I threw out. It just wasn't the way to go. It also had like a wax that I just did not like. It just made my brows greasy. So I wouldn't buy that again because only 1 out of 3 products I actually like. But I do like this powder. I started to mix it with this Franken shadow that was kind of a flop. It was a bad idea. But since this is kind of cool tone, I can afford to mix it with this warmer tone to make it kind of a perfect shade. I could have mixed them together, but that makes too much sense. So I'm working on kind of both of them. This one actually has a tiny bit of pan, but yeah, I chose it for the musical Anything Goes because of the song Easy to Love, and it is easy to love a brow powder when you use it every day. And my last roll-in is for that lip gloss I finished, and it is another lip gloss for the musical Dogfight. Not really a well-known musical, but it has Derek Klena and Lindsay Mendez, so I feel like everyone should know about it because iconic. I have never seen it, I've only listened to it, but I can kind of get the gist of the story. Kind of interesting story, but one of the main characters is named Rose, so I chose this Milani lip gloss, like I think it's their plumping gloss, I don't know, the words faded off, but it's in the shade Soft Rose, and her name is Rose, Soft Rose. I thought it was fitting. It is kind of settled a bit because I haven't used it in a while, and it's like down here-ish. I figured I should mark it there, counting like some of the product up here, but yeah, I like this. However, it's a little bit light for me to use it a ton. I have to use a little bit. Yeah, I tend to like to put this on top of other things, so I used a lot of this in a Franken tinted lip balm that I used at the beginning of the project, and also there was a time where I wore this a ton on top of that lip balm, or also on top of like a lip liner. So yeah, I had to find a way to either wear this on its own or find another product to wear this on top of, but there's so little left. I just want to get this out. I do like the formula, and I would like to try other shades from the Milani lip plumping line or whatever it's called. So that is the end of this video. I hope that you enjoyed and that you have an amazing day. Bye!